Last night's WrestleMania Backlash pay-per-view featured some great action, one title change, and the first zombie outbreak in WWE history. Tonight's Raw dealt with all the fallout from Sunday's show while beginning the build-up for the next pay-per-view on June 20, Hell in a Cell. Did The Miz and John Morrison escape the zombies unharmed? What's next for Bobby Lashley after defeating Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman? Can RK Bro continue to exist? What kind of surprises did Alexa Bliss have in store for Natalya and Tamina on Alexa's playground? Find out right now, for this is Ridiculously Raw. Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and StreamYard.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined tonight by the Phenom, Michael Bullock. I'm not sure, maybe awaiting the presence of good old MF Michael Fletcher and or Dee Woodson. If either of them come in, we'll catch them up on what they missed. If not, then we'll see them next time. But for right now, let's get into Monday Night Raw this evening. Once again from the Thunderdome on the campus of the University of South Florida, and we started off with an opening segment. Bobby Lashley with these lovely women, with several beautiful women. Along with MVP, and they cut a promo about the win last night, and MVP issued an open challenge to anybody on the Raw roster, with the exception of Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre. Sometimes simple is best. This is a basic storyline of two rivals. One has a belt, the other wants it. Wrestling is built on stories like this. It's the talent who either succeeds or fails in making it entertaining. MVP and Lashley are great together, and McIntyre is a perfect rival for Lashley, but this feud might only have one more pay-per-view left in it before WWE needs to have both men move on. This was a decent segment, but didn't do much to advance the storyline or set up for anything for the future, so we're just going to bypass this and move on to the first match of the night. One half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, the phenomenal AJ Styles, squaring off against Elias. And AJ Styles wins the match via disqualification in 11 minutes and 45 seconds. There was an outcome here, but anyways, but we're gonna frown upon it, and we're gonna give it an NA here. If I gave it a rating, it would probably be about 3 to 3 1/4 at best. Both of these men are heels, which tells you everything you need to know about the Raw Tag Team division. It's so thin that WWE can't even properly set up heel versus babyface feuds without the New Day. These guys were literally partners in a match last week. Or WWE is trying to turn Omos and Styles babyface in the hopes that nobody will remember they were just heels. We're going to need a promo or interview to determine what we are supposed to think about the tag champs. Weird booking aside, this was a good match with a lackluster finish. They kept a steady pace, and both men were able to get in plenty of offense as they went back and forth. Styles sold more for Elias than you would expect, considering he is a former world champion. It wasn't a classic, and nobody will be talking about it in a day or two. But this was a serviceable bout between two great athletes. So, not much more to say. Michael Bullock, if you're with us, let's get your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I'll actually give it 3 stars. I could have given it probably higher than that, but obviously the DQ finish takes a little bit away from it. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Florida, we don't know what to make of AJ Styles and Omos. I mean, are they still heels? Are they baby faces? I mean, we don't know, but hopefully somewhere down the line we'll get some kind of clarification. But other than that, there's really nothing more to say on it, so let's move on.
Yes, and then we had the Alexa Bliss and the Alexa's Playground with Natty and Tamina. Not much to speak about there. I mean, we're not going to really get much into that. And then what's the show without cutouts? We had Angel Garza against Drew Gulak. Angel Garza wins in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Yeah, this was a dud. usually the content of a storyline would dictate a lot about how we perceive it. But at this point, anything that gets Garza and Gulak on Raw is a good thing. These are two of the most underutilized stars on the Raw roster, but they have been getting more attention in recent weeks. This was short, but still managed to be entertaining. Part of that is the talent of the stars in the ring, and part of it is just being able to see two guys get screen time who will benefit from it. So, I'm going to give, maybe 0.5-1 would probably be the best rating for this. But I would say this was the worst fight of the night, no doubt about that. A renewal of a once great rivalry in WWE. Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston wins the match in 5 minutes and 10 seconds. And Michael Bullock, Kofi Kingston picking up a win, and this would end up being one of the biggest. This ended up being the biggest night for Kofi since WrestleMania 35.
Yeah, you could definitely say it because later on, I mean, this isn't the last you're gonna hear of Kofi Kingston. But yeah, I'll give this I'll give this 2.5 for the effort here. I mean, it was fine for what it was. I mean, I would have loved to see more from these two. I mean, especially with the rivalry that you just mentioned, Florio. But obviously, they had more things planned for Kofi. Well, we're not going to spoil it here. I mean, we'll definitely get into it later on. So there's really nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
Yeah, 2.5 for me. This is one of the few feuds WWE has visited a few times over the past decade, but never drove it into the ground. They are veterans of the same company who have somehow avoided each other for the majority of their careers. Their chemistry was still there, aside from the one mistake they made early in the match. Orton is always the more physically dominant, and that lets Kofi Kingston play up his underdog qualities. This was a little shorter than expected, but not to the detriment of the match. They did a good job keeping it competitive before the roll-up finish. 2.25, 2.5. That's the best I can give this. Then from there, we had a return match for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Natalya and Tamina defending against Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. The winners and still the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Natalya and Tamina, they successfully defend 3 minutes and 15 seconds after a heart attack clothesline, shades of the old Hart Foundation. And one of the coolest thing about this match was when the Kane like pyro went off and Reggie got a little too close for it, and little Ellsworth 2.0 got burned. And I know Bullock and I had a lot of fun with that during our Raw chat this evening.
I don't know if he got burned. I mean, I think he was just petrified from the flames going up.
But at least he got his though.
I mean, I still enjoyed it, but I don't think he got burned because it's not like he was close to the flames.
No.
I mean, he was close, but not close enough where he would have gotten significant damage.
But anyways,
but in closing here, Florio, and I told you this behind the scenes, during our Raw chat, and I'm going to tell the folks here right now. Of course, obviously, Alexa Bliss was out there keeping an eye on it. Why do I get this funny feeling that Alexa and her friend Lily or somebody that we don't know could challenge Natalya and Tamina for the Raw Tag Team titles? I mean the Women's Tag Team titles. Why do I get this funny feeling about it?
That is a very realistic possibility. But but this was a cutout here as well. This was another 1-star effort. I mean, it's great to see the women's tag team division getting so much attention on both brands recently, but this match fell short of their encounter from this past Friday on SmackDown. The inclusion of Alexa Bliss seems to indicate she has her eyes on the women's tag titles. Is WWE about to let her win the belts with Lily? Is a doll going to be a champion in WWE? Hey, if they can put the Raw tag team title on a 10-year-old kid, surely they can do this. Why not? But This segment should have led to Shayna Baszler dumping Nia Jax and Reginald so she can return to singles action, but apparently that's going to have to wait. So let me tell you, that's going to be the last cutout of the night, because then from here, the show kicks in an all-time high right here. Return match from last night. This was on the WrestleMania Backlash kickoff show. Non-title match, United States Heavyweight Champion Sheamus versus Ricochet. Winner of the match in 13 and a half minutes. It was the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. This was a 4-star match. The reason behind why this match took place was a little dumb, but the match itself was a fun contest between one of WWE's best high flyers and one of the most consistent performers of the pandemic era. This match was entertaining, physical, and set up a title feud that will carry them through Hell in a Cell. There isn't much more to say. This was great. What will be interesting to see is if Humberto Carrillo or Mansoor enters the picture again. Ricochet was in his new look again. It's basic, but it kind of works for him. But damn it to hell, what a match. At least 4 stars. Michael Bullock, I mean, we were gushing over this match during our Raw chat. What a match this ended up being, and this is really where Raw turned the corner tonight.
Yeah, Raw definitely turned the corner with the matches coming up here. But, yeah, this was a 4-star match. I mean, you had the high-flying ability of Ricochet against the power of Sheamus. And, yeah, Ricochet definitely gave Sheamus a run for his money. And, yeah, we could see another match between these two, maybe with the U.S. title on the line. So we'll have to wait and see on that. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Let's move on, Florio.
And like I said, the show really started to kick off here. You thought that was good. Yes, it was Charlotte Flair versus Asuka for the umpteenth time. But Asuka won the match in 16 minutes and 45 seconds. Michael Bullock, if you thought Sheamus and Ricochet was good, this may have been just as good, if not better.
Yeah, and I know people are going to be saying, oh, this is repetitiveness. Yes, I get that. But this is good repetitiveness as far as I'm concerned, because these two, they deliver one good match after another, and this one was no different. I'm gonna give this 4.25 stars. I mean, what can you say about these two? They always seem to put on a really good match, no matter how many times they face each other. So obviously now, I think Asuka's in line to get another shot at the Raw Women's title, even though Charlotte Flair is probably gonna find some way to politic her way to make sure she gets the shot. So, because what else is new? She's a freaking politician, for gosh sakes. You know she's gonna try to find a way to get a shot. I mean, come on, what else is there to be said? But anywho, what a match this was. So 4.25 stars. Florio, I guess we could say the Queen got her comeuppance, but I got a bad feeling that her politicking is gonna come into play here. It's yours.
Perhaps it will, but nonetheless, though, this to me was the fight of the night. 4.25, teetering on 4.5 stars. Despite being a former double champion with the Raw Women's title and Women's Tag Team title, it doesn't feel like WWE sees Asuka as a top star, and that is a damn shame because she is one of the best. Whether she is winning or losing, Asuka always gives her all to every bout. She deserves better than the booking she has received over the past 6 months. She's always portrayed as tough, but loses more than she should. Seeing her get the win here was satisfying after she took the loss last night. With that said, this was a fantastic match. These two know each other as well as anyone on the roster, and they always manage to make their encounters must-see TV. Fight of the night, 4.25, 4.5 stars. Nothing more to say. Let's move on here. Damian Priest versus John Morrison. Lumberjack match. You're thinking, oh no, not the zombie nonsense again. Please, we don't need to see this again. Good news, no zombies. We had literal lumberjacks, including a female lumberjack in Nikki Cross. You had the Viking Raiders, Cedric Alexander, Mace T-Bar, Titus O'Neil, Shelton Benjamin, new 24/7 champion Akira Tozawa, Mansoor, Mustafa Ali, and the Lucha House Party. But when all was said and done, the winner of the match, 12 minutes and 10 seconds, Damian Priest. He picks up the win here. Sleeper fight of the night, 3 to 3.25 stars. I mean, the whole zombie thing last night was a train wreck. But you have to admire WWE for not just ignoring it and having Morrison make reference to feeling empty inside after being bitten. It's stupid in a way that could potentially be hilarious if management commits to it. This match was decent, but didn't necessarily need to include lumberjacks. Morrison and Priest have great chemistry and would have worked better without having to worry about everyone else. Let's hope Damian Priest moves on to a new feud because this one has run its course and then some. So perhaps some title opportunities for the Archer of Infamy in the future. But sleeper fight of the night here, 3.25, teetering on 3.5. Not much more to say. Michael Bullock, I mean, when we heard about this match, we were thinking, oh no, not the zombie BS again. But nope, no zombies. We had real lumberjacks, and this ended up being far better than what we saw last night with The Miz.
Yeah, where was this kind of match last night? I mean, we should have had this instead of those freaking zombies. But anywho, 3.25 stars. I agree. This was a sleeper fight of the night here. I mean, yeah, these two definitely delivered here. And yeah, I mean, I could have gone without the lumberjacks, but you know, it is what it is. And this was definitely far and away better than Damian Priest and The Miz we saw at WrestleMania Backlash. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Let's move on, Florio.
And I do believe we move on to the main event of the evening. It was the Open Challenge. We were wondering who was going to answer the Open Challenge of the almighty WWE Champion Bobby Lashley. And it was somebody we had already seen earlier in the night. This gentleman pulled double duty. Kofi Kingston. And when all was said and done, winner of the match in 10 minutes and 55 seconds, Kofi Kingston. Michael Bullock, we might have just witnessed the rebirth of Kofi Mania. Look at this.
And aren't you forgetting something? What we normally say?
Yeah. Because
no. It's something that you always like to bring up when something like this happens.
Oh yes, maybe a championship committee moment here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, Florio, from you. I think this could be a championship committee moment. I mean, because as good as McIntyre and the Lashley rivalry has been, I think it's time for a fresh challenger here. And why not someone more than the former WWE champion Kofi Kingston? I mean, yeah, this was definitely a big win for Kofi, and yeah, I mean, maybe this is the rebirth of Kofi Mania. Maybe he gets a championship opportunity somewhere down the line. So yeah, as far as what was the time, Florio, again?
10 minutes and 55 seconds.
All right, I'll give this about an even 3 stars for the effort here. So Florio, what's yours?
Yeah. This match was good, but there were a couple sloppy spots due to both men trying to go too quick. Whenever they slowed down a bit, they looked great. pulling the rug out from under Kingston when he accepted the challenge, made it obvious he would, since the title was not on the line. What matters is what happens next. If WWE is serious about pushing Kingston, he would be perfect to play the underdog against Lashley. If this was just a one-off, then it means nothing. But yeah, definitely a 3-star match. There is no question about that. And it capped off what ended up being one of the best Monday Night Raws of 2021. I could probably say this was the best Raw of 2021, if I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, it started off slow, but things picked up starting with the Sheamus Ricochet bout. The show was better than usual from that point on. Charlotte and Asuka, fight of the night. Sheamus and Ricochet, second best fight of the night. Sleeper fight of the night, that Priest and Morrison lumberjack match. Lashley and Kofi, that was the 4th best fight of the night. And despite a DQ finish, you actually had a solid match with AJ Styles and Elias. We had 5 quality matches this evening. Yeah, we had a couple of cutouts and a so-so opening segment, but other than that, I can honestly say this was the best Raw of 2021 for me. I got to give this about I can't believe I'm saying this for a Raw, but I'm going to give this about 8 to 8.5 out of 10. And heck, you could even throw in the Orton and Kofi match. I mean, we had 5 or 6 solid quality matches tonight. Uneven show with a few standout performances. Ricochet, Sheamus, Asuka, Charlotte. If you missed the show, Charlotte and Asuka for sure. Ricochet, Sheamus for sure. The lumberjack match. Main event. AJ and Elias. Orton and Kofi if you want. And then go from there. But this was a solid 8 to 8.5 out of 10. I mean, I can honestly say this was the best Monday Night Raw of 2021. So the show still needs work, obviously. I mean, obviously they still have a problem with repetitiveness and all that good stuff, but boy howdy, they are really, really turning the corner as of late, and I'm starting to get encouraged a little bit. So that's all there is to say on this. So at least 8, maybe 8.5. Michael Bullock, I don't know about you, but this was definitely the best Raw of 2021 by a mile.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, it did start slow, but it did pick up definitely at the end. I mean, those matches that you described as definitely something you definitely gotta watch here. So I'm gonna give this about an 8 out of 10 as far as I'm concerned. Definitely the best Raw 2021 and the best Raw we've seen in a long time. So there's really nothing more to say. Florio, I think it's time for your Tony's take.
A very special Tony's take, Michael Bullock. Tonight I'm going to be focusing on the Impact Plus event, Under Siege. Impact Wrestling put on a special show on the Impact Plus app. For those of you who have it, I have it on my Roku device, and I saw it this past Saturday night. Under Siege, Skyway Studios, Nashville, Tennessee. We started it off with Brian Myers versus Black Taurus. Brian Myers wins the match. 3-star match, quality match, bringing out the best in Myers. Both are good mid-carders that were showcased effectively here in a fresh match that didn't outstay its welcome. Knockouts tag match, we had Tenille Dashwood and Taylor Wilde versus Kimberly and Susan. Tenille Dashwood, Taylor Wilde win the match. For me, this was the worst fight of the night, 2 stars. It was a fine, quick match that advanced the story. Not much to say about this one. Then we had a fatal 4-way number 1 contenders match for the World Tag Team Championships. Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus Petey Williams and TJP versus Rohit Raju and Mahabali Shera versus Triple XL. Winners of the match and the new number 1 contenders for the World Tag Team titles, Madman Fulton and Ace Austin, 3.5 stars. Very good match that was given time and allowed everyone to shine. These two were a good choice for contenders and could be the next duo to don the titles. Maybe they could give FinJuice a run for their money. And that title match will take place, oh, by the way, this Thursday night on Impact Wrestling on Access TV. W. Morrissey, a.k.a. Big Cass, formerly of WWE, went up against Willie Mack. W. Morrissey won the match. 2.5 stars. Okay match, but felt a bit long during Morrissey's beatdown. Mack looked great as the babyface, but took another loss here. Rich Swann's return was unexpected, and a feud with Morrissey could be interesting for both. Knockouts tag team titles on the line. The champions, Jordynne Grace and Rachel Ellering, defending against the former champions, Fire and Flava, Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. Winners of the match, and once again, the new Knockouts tag team champions, Fire and Flava, 3.25 stars. Good match with Fire and Flava looking good as the heels on top, and Grace and Ellering coming back with some fire. The story here is that Grace is the weak link, and her losing further advances that. The title move was shocking, but I'm happy to see it as Fire and Flava are a money team. Good stuff here, and one of the better matches in this title's return. X Division title on the line. Josh Alexander defending against El Phantasmo. Josh Alexander wins the match. 3.75 stars. What a match. From start to finish, I was entertained with these two just going at it. And I hope Josh continues a world tour of X Division challengers, and I have to keep seeing El Phantasmo and Impact. Good clash here. Check it out. Knockouts title on the line. Deonna Purrazzo versus Jessica Havoc. Deonna Purrazzo successfully defends. 2.75 stars. Solid match, but not much heat to this one. Deonna is always a pleasure to watch, and the story was told well here. 6-man tag team matchup. Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus Eddie Edwards and Finn Juice. Eddie Edwards and Finn Juice win the match, but it was Eddie Edwards pinning Carl Anderson for the win. Another 3.75 star match. I enjoyed the match. Seeing Eddie Edwards against Kenny Omega in brief instances was a thrill, and these guys worked hard from the start. Main event style tag bout with some great drama and effort. Big win for Eddie also. I'm curious to see where they go with that. Main event, a 6-way number 1 contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Sami Callihan, Chris Bay, Matt Cardona, Trey Miguel, Chris Sabin, Moose. Winner of the match and the number 1 contender for Kenny Omega, Moose. Another 3.75 star match. Interesting development. I'm not sure when this title shot is occurring, but hopefully it'll be Slammiversary because this would be a huge match. I'm not sure where Sami Callihan fits into this. They do have Against All Odds next month where he could have a mini feud, but it feels bigger than that. Anyway, the bout was fun as you would expect with constant action and charisma displayed. Fun main event on par with the preceding match quality. 7.5 out of 10. Really good Impact Plus event with the marquee matches delivering at a high level. Nothing was offensive and the match quality and effort stood out. Good in-ring showings combined with a strong story advancement. Made for one of the better Impact Plus shows you'll find. 7.5 out of 10. And Thursday night on Impact Wrestling, we will see Finn Juice defend the World Tag Titles against Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. So that will put the bow on this latest edition of Ridiculously Raw. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. We'll be back with you Wednesday Night Mayhem. MF will have it, hopefully, on Braves Fan 95, as we will run down NXT, AEW Dynamite, NXT, of course, Johnny Gargano versus Bronson Reed, North American title inside a cage, and so much more. And then AEW Dynamite, of course. Thursday on Strictly Sports, it's going to be all about the Stanley Cup and NBA playoffs. We're going to preview all the first-round matches in the Stanley Cup playoffs and in the NBA playoffs as well. That'll be on Thursday for Strictly Sports. Friday, Cerebral Smack Talk with MF. On Braves Fan 95, as we'll review Friday Night SmackDown. And then we'll come right back here for Ridiculously Raw next week as we start the road to Hell in a Cell. So that's it. So until Wednesday night, for Wednesday Night Mayhem, this is Anthony Florio here for the Phenom Michael Bullock. And in spirit, good old MF Michael Fletcher, the Twisted Angel Didi Woodson, and always and forever Yankee Messiah 401 Derek Forever. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until tomorrow, and until Wednesday night for Wednesday Night Mayhem, you were watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. For everybody who's been a part of this one, always remember, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real beyond anything else. So until then, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.